everyone, it's Sally with the Polka Dot Life. We often go between different styles in our card making. I know I do anyway. I know that sometimes I want a clean, simple, quick and easy card. Other times I like to dig in the messier end of crafting and do a more involved card. So today we are going to take a look at the quick and easy cards. And then on Sunday, we are going to get a little bit messy with a few of our techniques and go into a little bit more of involved cards. Not necessarily harder, just more things and more steps. So be sure to check out both of the videos, and I have quite a few examples for you. And don't forget to check out the last chance sale while you are at thepolkadotlife.com. Just hit that shop tab and you will go to my store and you'll be able to see all of those different discounted items. While today's cards are on the simpler end of life, they aren't boring and they aren't ugly. They're just quick and easier cards. And we have some great tools at Stampin' Up! To help you accomplish that goal. Let's get started on today's project. I love a whole suite of products that coordinate. There are just so many different things you can do with it. Now, in this video and then the one on Sunday, we are not going to be using this pretty pillow box dies. We will use that at another time. And today, specifically, we are going to be focusing on numbers 3 and 4, and that is the Gingerbread and Peppermint Memories and More card pack and the Gingerbread and Peppermint Memories and More cards and envelopes. These are great tools to have in your arsenal if you are running behind, if you just don't want to spend a whole lot of time on Christmas cards, but you still want them to look nice. Whether you just want to have a challenge of a different type of card, it's a different size of card. Envelopes are these pretty craft envelopes that we don't normally have. There are just a lot of reasons why you might want to take a look at these. And we are going to hop in with that today. Let's start off by looking at the envelopes. They are the craft color and they're darker than crumb cake. They have the little address area whitened out, which makes it kind of nice. It gives you a little bit of a tool to help keep your address in check. And don't forget to use your Stampin' Right markers. That thin end, use them and address your Christmas cards to match the colors that you've used. It's an awesome thing to do. And then the flap has this nice little gingerbread effect on it. And then you have the cards, and they are scored. They aren't folded, but they're kind of have a little sprinkling in the background, so they're not like super stark white, but it has this nice little cinnamon cider area here in the front that you can do a lot with. And then the inside are just the basic white. So I'm just going to move this card aside while we look at the Memories and More card pack. You get set. Now I've been working with mine, so I have pieces gone out of my kit. But they come with cards of 2 different sizes, and they have different things on them. Some of them are printed. These cards are also made to use with our memory keeping system, and you can find that in the annual catalog. I started as a scrapbooker before I kind of switched to card making, so I love that this also ties in with memory keeping. But they're made with love. It's beginning to taste a lot like Christmas. But then on the backs, they're just like designer series paper, but that prep work is done for you. So you can do a lot with these different cards. We have some different cutouts. We have some stickers. Some are sentiments, some are just images. And then they come with this chipboard in the back just to keep them nice for transport. But there are these larger cards as well, wishing you a sweet Christmas. But then this side is a nice pattern. Then you have this one that you could write out a recipe if you wanted to. Or on the back is a nice print. This has a nice print on the back of this as well. I love that red and white. But then the front is an actual recipe card. So if you wanted to, you could just take one of these out of your kit and include it right with someone's card. Write them out your favorite recipe. These would be great cards to make and take to a cookie exchange. And you could send your recipe home in a handmade card. So I'm just folding and scoring my card. And I'm actually even going to slide it out of the way for a little bit. I have some different supplies here on the wings to use. These little baking trays come in black and silver. And the one I made first, I used the black. So I think I want to use the silver one. We're going to do it similar, but we'll just change a few things up. So I want to take my liquid glue and just make a puddle of it on my silicone mat. This is a perfect example of why these are great little tools for your craft room. When I'm not using mine, I tuck mine under my Stampin' Cut and Emboss machine, and it helps it from sliding around a little bit. We no longer carry the sponges, but I just always cut off a little slice of mine and I'll use it for a day or two and then I'll throw it away. You can pick up any craft sponge at a local Hobby Lobby or Michael's. You can order them, I'm sure, off Amazon. I hope that maybe these come back soon. But you just want to get a little bit. You kind of want to go on out from this. Load up your sponge, but can then kind of drag it out a bit. And this is just the good, perfect case in point of why you want this. Because you don't want this going all over the place and being oozy, but you don't want it catching either and coming off your card. So you will see that there's enough on here that it's kind of going in between these little grates, but it's not going to be on the front. And I'm just going to take it over here, and it kind of just makes it a little bit like a sticker. And I'm just going to put that right down here. You know what? Let's peel that up real quick. I got that a little bit too high. I was sneaking a look at my example to see how far down I put it, and I just didn't get it right. So if you pull it up real carefully right away, you can do that. And we'll just give that a nice little press. Then we will move this craft sheet out of the way. If I have more that I'm going to be working on, I'll just keep using that. If not, you just let it dry and then it just kind of rolls off of there. It's great. Then we have some stickers. And I love this little oven mitt. You could put this straight on. I just kind of like it, kind of just turn to the side just a little bit. And then we have a spatula. Put that on top here. These go together so quickly. Now, I do want to make sure that that little piece of that spatula has been removed. And the back of these are white, so if you wanted to sponge them a different color or something, you could absolutely do that. We used the Your Friendship Makes the Season Sweeter for my first one I did. So let's use this Merriest Christmas, and I kind of want it to go over, to tie in this, to go over that a little bit, but to come on top of that cooling rack as well. Now, you could be well and done right here, right now, and that is a super cute card. I have found with these Memories and More card, if you just maybe take one tiny embellishment and add to it, it really, really makes these cards sing. These are another great option for if you're traveling and you like to craft, because all that prep work is done for you. You just need to take an adhesive and, like I say, maybe some ribbon or some gems or jewels, something like that. So I've put a glue dot. I've got my little sticker stuck on me from my spatula. And let's just kind of turn that back onto itself. And let's decide where we kind of want it. I think I kind of want this one on the corner. And I think that that just kind of brings this to life. Here's my other one that I did, and you can just kind of see the difference. We used the black one here. I did put a piece of paper. I put one of those small cards under here, but I kind of wanted to see what it would look like just with that gingerbread look coming between here. I actually like both. And then I just added the bow. This one's on the side, this one's on the top. But they are super, super cute cards. And I mean, that took like, what, a minute to put that together? That is super fun. Let me show you a few more cards that I've done. I don't think I've done anything with the insides, but you certainly could decorate the insides as well. This one, I just simply took this card and I just took a little scrap of that designer series paper and put across there for a border just to bring in another color, and I added a ribbon. Wishing you a sweet Christmas. This card has the red card background. I flipped it over and used that background, again a scrap of that DSP. This is one of the small cards. I have dimensionals underneath it. This is one of the sugar cookies that was die cut out of the designer series paper. It has some dimensionals under here too, just because this end is popped up. And then I took some jewels here, and I believe those are from the Wonderful Gems pack. They have the gold and the red in them, and so I thought that the gold probably on this one would stand out a little bit more, and so I used them there. But you could use any gem that you had in your stash. Those little red ones are really nice that are just all solid red. There's holiday rhinestone jewels. There are clear ones. We just have a lot of really nice embellishments right now. And so those would be great options, whatever you have. This card I made at Landscape. You're the icing to my gingerbread. I used the stamp from the stamp set, and I didn't do anything on the inside on that either. And I popped this card up on dimensionals. But this is one that is like those memory keeping cards. Let me pull one out for you. Ah, there are my gems. Yes, the Wonderful Gems are the ones that I used. But this is the one that was probably designed more for memory keeping, where it says, memories in the making. I just turned it this way and I covered that up. So think outside of the box of different ways that you can use these cards. I just added that gingerbread cookie on top of there, and I put a gem on it and two over here, and I thought that really looks striking. This one, super easy. I just added the small card on top of here. I glued down one of the Christmas trees from the designer series paper. I fussy cut that out since we don't have a die. I used the postage stamp punch to punch out my greeting that I had stamped from the stamp set. And then this is the ribbon from the suite, and I just tied a knot and put that on with a glue dot. That came together in no time, probably less than a minute. Probably tying the knot took more than anything else. Here we go, wishing you a Merry Christmas. I took that one that was probably, you're supposed to write on it, but I just stamped my sentiment on it. And I put a bow here, a double bow at the top. This is up on dimensionals. Again, a wider scrap piece of the designer series paper here. And one of the large cards. And then again, with the Wonderful Gems. And you can do as much or as little with these. I took this one, and even though you can still see just a tiny bit of that line for the writing, it doesn't jump out at you, and it doesn't bother me at all. And those things generally bother me. So when I'm telling you it's not in your face, it's a good thing. I took one of these small cards, and I embossed it. This is just with the textile folder. I just gave it a little bit of texture, and I added ribbons on each one of those ornaments, and I just popped up a greeting. And I thought that that is a really fun card. This does not look like a cheap thrown together card. If you'd like a larger card to write on, these are good. And I'm looking up the exact size. 4 1/4 by 6 1/4 after they're folded. So they are bigger than the card size that we are normally used to working with. So if you'd like to have a little more writing room, this is a great option for you. These are heavy. These are a nice weight cardstock. They're different than our basic white thick, but they still are very heavy. And especially when you've added a couple layers to the front, it's a substantial feeling card. I know that these cards are probably barely all fitting on screen, but just in a matter of minutes, I had 8 cards ready to go. And so I still have 12 left. And after those are gone, I'm sure I'm still going to have pieces of that card pack left. I could either order an additional set of the cards and envelopes, or I could just take those cards and use it with my own cardstock and use them as I would any other element, die cut them, stamp on them, whatever. And they just are another great tool to have in our arsenal. I always love when we have a Memories and More card pack. Don't forget to come back on Sunday afternoon and look for my video for our more in-depth on our cards that maybe take a little bit longer and you get a little bit messy and fun too. As always, remember to be kind, send a card, and do something creative. Bye-bye.